All right. I also wanted to go through a couple of things here. Yes, I'm reading Yotsuba at the moment. Maybe I should move that somewhere. All right, Yotsuba is gone. There we go. Cool. Okay, so some of the things. This is from Reddit, yes. But Reddit is a good place that is currently collecting all this information for me in one place. So I'm going to use it. Yeah, so this line at the end of the story did not exist. They have just recently patched this in. What didn't exist exactly? Originally, it's just tell me I'm wrong in the English version. They left out this minion of Enigmata, which I have been reading up on and have found out who Enigmata is. And essentially, it's almost kind of like a fool, almost. They kind of manipulate, provide misinformation, obscure truth and fact. They just try and make things messy, really, which is really interesting. I wonder how that's going to play into it. Obviously, a minion of the Enigmata. But yeah, I feel like that's a massive thing that they left out of the translation. I'm not even sure how you leave that out, because you literally would have had this line, right, in a different language, either Chinese or Japanese. I'm not sure where they translate from, probably Chinese. And they were just like, oh no, we don't need this minion of Enigmata bit. We just do the tell me I'm wrong bit. That's fine. I don't know how you missed that, but yeah, so that's something that we found out in the last couple of days about the story. And this relates to, what's his name? The new guy has scars on his arm. I can't think of his name. But essentially death. This references death. Which, actually, if I can find... Is it this one? I think it's this one. Yes. Okay, so Gallagher, that's his name, Gallagher. So because we're on the topic of death, this is the next thing that's actually really, really interesting here. You know how he said I'm 13? Now, I have theories on why he said 13, but internet theories, death, 13. Oh, was that done on purpose? Probably. That's very cool. That's very, very cool. I also like that 13 is the number outside of the clock there. It goes up to 12 and then it's the next number. But no, very interesting. Now, my theory with this is that he wasn't actually lying. I think he's telling the truth here. I think he is actually 13. Why is he 13? Because he's not a real person, really. He's a collection of the family that has been put together in one person. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he is actually 13. He's existed for 13 years. And it probably coincides. Now, I don't think there was any information in the actual story that told us, but I'm pretty sure this coincides with, or will coincide with, when Death actually started killing. I bet you it ends up being 13 years ago the killing started. And if it is, if we're fed that kind of information, damn. There's another hint that was literally thrown right in our face halfway through the story, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, so even more lore stuff. Even more on Gallagher. Even more on Gallagher. What was the quest line called? The main story quest line? The Devil in Velvet. Whoop, no, don't go. It was called The Devil in Velvet. What color is velvet? Oh, I'm blocking it. There we go. That's the color of velvet. Why is that important? His pants are velvet. His tie is velvet. They were hinting at it the entire time. Oh. That's really cool that they were confident enough to hide it and confident enough that no one would pick it out. Because I didn't see any posts about this. I didn't see anyone being like, oh my god, this is what that means. Unless it was getting quashed on the subreddits and on Twitter and all that, but I don't think it would have been. But no, that's really cool. Another little hint that they put wide out in the open and no one really realized until it was all said and done. Everything was revealed at the end. Very cool. Very, very cool. And then this was kind of funny. So if you completed the boss yesterday, same time as I did, you would have been playing against a more difficult boss. But it has now been nerfed. It has now been nerfed. It came in with the same patch as they did with the changes of the translation. So the Enigmata thing. So it came in with that patch that they've nerfed the boss. Now, I don't think they actually really needed to nerf the boss. I think it was probably perfectly beatable. I think people just probably needed to use their brains a little bit more. But I can understand why they would want to make it slightly easier. Because it is a culmination in the story. It's a big event. You don't want people grinding themselves against that kind of boss in the story, like over and over and over again. So it kind of makes sense why they did it. Make it easier for people to get through, complete that story, complete that boss fight, and move on to the final bits of the story. But yeah, interesting. I guess I'm one of the people that has successfully beat the more difficult Aventurine, so that's cool. Yeah, even though again I didn't really find him that difficult. Once I switched to March, once I put March in instead of Herder, that fight was pretty easy. It was pretty easy. But yeah, that's all I've got so far. Going through the Reddits again, good source of all this kind of stuff, people finding out stuff. And yeah, thanks to the people that have posted these that I've picked out and had a little talk and chat about. Very cool, very, very cool.